What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Spinfuel's Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at BRV Liquid's Advocacy line. Alright guys, so before we get started, I do want to show you guys something pretty cool that I got in today. It's this pretty sweet little vape mat that I got from vapemats.com, with a big shout out to Michael Bodine for the design. You guys will definitely be seeing it in all of my future videos where you can see the close-up section, so big shout out to vapemats.com. Go check them out if you want to get a mat for yourself. Alright guys, so let's move on with this review. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Will Cohen of BRV Liquids for giving me these back at VCCPA for the purpose of this review. So thanks a bunch, Will. I really think he's doing a lot of great things with this line. This is their advocacy line, so they actually give $3 of each bottle sold to 3 different advocacy groups, CASA, SFATA, and the Vaping Militia. So depending on which flavor you purchase, it's actually benefiting a different advocacy group, which is, I think, a really great thing. I wish more and more e-liquid companies would do that to give back and kind of show some love for the people that fight for our right to vape. Now, that being said, these bottles are available in 30 ml bottles at $20 a bottle, and they are available in 0, 3, 6, 12, and 18 milligrams, so there's something for everyone. You can find them in the links below if you want to get some for yourself. Now, let's move on with our first flavor, which is going to be Democracy. Now, this particular flavor benefits SFATA, and the flavor description reads, "A refreshing berry lemonade to help quench your thirst and push forward." Alright, so we have it all set up in our Ego 1 and Kanger Subtank Nano setup like we always use for flavor reviews. So let's go ahead and have our first vape here. Alright, so before I continue, I do want to mention the fact that these are all 60 VG, 40 PG, so relatively low VG on the spectrum. Most of the time you see 70-30 and 80-20 and max VG flavors nowadays, but these are all mixed in 60 VG, 40 PG, which is good for anybody. This is good for people using tanks or EVODs or clear misers or whatever. So I like that they did that, and I like also that they're available up to 18 milligram because, you know, you don't want to, miss out on the people that are still vaping 18 milligram. I mean, when I got started, I used 18, so yeah, in this style device though, this is 3 milligram like I normally use. The berry flavor is nice in it. It's nice and refreshing and light. It definitely reminds me of summer. I wish I could go back right now. We're supposed to get some snow and ice here in New England pretty soon, so not looking forward to that, but this brings me right back to the middle of summer, sipping on some nice lemonade with a nice berry twist to it as well. Let's go ahead and have our second vape here. So for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 4. Not a bad flavor overall. It is a little bit perfumey for my liking, but overall not a bad flavor whatsoever. Definitely brings me right back and makes me wish it was summer again, but that being said, I can see myself vaping this stuff in the middle of winter, kind of to bring myself back to that time. For the vapor production on this one, I'm going to give it a 3. Definitely not the big, huge clouds of vapor that you're used to seeing out of something with a higher VG concentration, but overall, not so bad. Definitely still enjoyable. And for the throat hit, considering there is a little bit more PG to it, I don't really notice a difference, which is a good thing for me, so I'm going to give it a 4.5 overall. Not a bad vape whatsoever. This is probably my favorite flavor of this line in particular. That being said, let's move on to our next flavor. Alright vapors, we are back, and the next flavor we have is Freedom. So this one supports CASA, and the flavor description reads, "Free your taste buds with this delicious apple treat." So let's go ahead and have our first vape. Alright, so right off the bat, I get sour green apple, and that's spot on to where I think they were going with this one. It only says apple treat, and I'm assuming they were going for kind of like an apple Jolly Rancher, and I think they absolutely nailed it with this one. So if you like a very sour vape, this one's definitely going to be for you. It's not over-the-top candy, but you really get that nice sour punch to it, which is really good. So overall, definitely enjoy this one. As for an all-day vape, I doubt it since it's so sour, but all the while, I think it's a nice kind of tasty treat to, put it in your tank once in a while. That being said, let's go on to our next vape here. Alright guys, so for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5. Not an all-day vape for me personally, and as far as the sourness to it, it is definitely up there in sourness, but I think that's what they were going for in this one, so I definitely give them a lot of credit for that. However, for me, I really don't know if I can deal with the sourness all the time. But like I said, if you're an apple fan, a green apple fan, or sour vape fan, definitely give this one a shot. For the vapor production, I'm going to give it a 3. Like I said, with 60-40, that's kind of to be expected with this one. And also the throat hit, sourness kind of adds a little bit of throat hit to it. Really kind of almost stings the nostrils, if you will. And so I'm going to knock a point off for that. So I'll give it a 3.5 for the throat hit. But all in all, this one's not too bad. I really do recommend it, and give it a shot for yourself. Alright guys, so for our final flavor tonight we have Revolution. Now this one supports the vaping militia, and the flavor description reads, a warm, fresh peanut butter cookie to help keep you fueled for the cause. Alright, so as you probably know, I'm not the biggest peanut butter fan in the world, and I'm not the biggest dessert flavor in the world, but this one smells amazing, so I'm going to give it a shot. So let's go ahead and have our first vape. So yeah, I think they nailed it once again with this flavor. I get that nice peanut butter to it. It's very rich and very creamy. Leaves a nice taste in your tongue, and overall it's a very satisfying flavor. Not an all-day vape for me personally, but if you like a peanut butter vape and you want to try something different, definitely give this one a shot. So that being said, let's go ahead and have another vape real quick, and I'll get to my ratings. Alright guys, so for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5. You do get the peanut butter, you kind of get a little bit of that cookie flavor in there, but neither one really jump out at you. It's a nice smooth flavor, and overall it's very enjoyable, but definitely not an all-day vape for me. So if you haven't tried a peanut butter flavor yet and you want to, make sure you pick this one up. Or if you're looking to try a different peanut butter flavor, this one could be for you. That being said, for the vapor production, I'm going to give it a 3, just like the rest of them. It's not chucking huge clouds, but it does the job. And for the throat hit, I'm going to knock an extra half a point off because I feel like this one may be a little tad harsher than the rest of them, but it's nothing I can't handle, and overall it's still pretty smooth, so not a bad overall flavor. So yeah, that about does it for this video, guys. If you want to check these liquids out for yourself, make sure you follow the links in the description. Make sure you comment in the box below on what you think about these flavors and about the Advocacy line in general. Personally, I think BRV is doing a great job, and they should keep up the hard work, guys. Really impressed by these flavors, and I want to see more juice companies follow their lead in giving back to the advocacy groups. So yeah, that about does it for this video, guys. Make sure you give it a huge thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe for more of my content. Make sure you check out spinfuel.com for all of my videos, as well as Smoke and Joy and Spinfuel official videos, and as always, vape on!